My name is Sarah Jerem, and you're watching Artistic Digs. This series shines a spotlight on musical contemporaries who inspire me to talk with them and learn more about their creative space. So I'm so happy to have as my first guest my friend, guitarist and composer Harley Card. Harley and I met at the University of Toronto when we were students in the jazz program. Harley is known for his work as a freelance musician in and around Toronto since 2003. He's also known for his work with the bands Hobson's Choice, the Harley Card Quintet, Stop Time, God's Gift to Yoda, and Harrington. And we also play together in our quartet, Dream Logic. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining.
My pleasure. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah. So how are you doing these days?
Doing pretty well, hanging in there, and yeah, keeping busy. So we're all doing that, and yeah, can't complain.
Yeah. I know. It is what it is, but has anything been sort of what's been bringing you happiness during this time?
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to a lot of music for sure, and a few projects around my apartment, like a few projects on the go, fixing up my stereo rig. So again, more music, a lot of cooking. I'm actually slow cooking, doing some slow cooking right now. So
Nice.
um, got a roast in the oven,
Oh,
and trying new recipes or just like improvising in the kitchen. So that's been a good sort of thing to go to kind of get out of my head. And then also like finding pathways around the city, biking in the summer. I don't really bike in the winter much, so I'm kind of missing that these days. But a lot of walking in the winter and
nice.
in the summer too. So that's been keeping me happy for sure. And yeah.
Wow, you're doing a lot of great stuff. Yeah. Physical movement, nourishing food, all that stuff, and listening to good music. Yeah. Cool. That's awesome. So, what have you been practicing lately?
Oh, scales and arpeggios. So, yeah, fundamentals, and I end up working on harmonic stuff, chords, and everything with students a lot, and I'm happy to be working with some great students right now. And so they've always got projects on the go, and that keeps things fresh. Yeah, there was a period where I was singing a lot, a period where I was working on words a lot. Um, Making a set of cover tunes and then kind of shedding that for a few months. So yeah, it's a good day if I've played some Charlie Parker and tried to sing some Lucinda Williams or something like that. I can
Nice.
sort of do a bit of both. Yeah.
That's amazing. Like what kind of draws you into certain things? Are there certain things that kind of draw you into a period of music, like singing or word writing? What's that process like for you?
I don't know. It's kind of comes from all kinds of sources, and it's always in flux. And whatever I don't know. You get on certain threads for a while, and you get really interested in a certain idea or a certain record or a movie or something you're reading, and then I don't know. It just it can morph into something that you put together, or it can just get you thinking about different things to practice or things that you've worked on. It's good to just go over things that you haven't touched on in years and kind of revisit it, and so that's again back to the teaching. It's like that's always a source of that, where you're helping people through stuff you've worked on before, and then in the process you're hopefully getting a bit stronger. You've got a different perspective on it.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. And you're on faculty at U of T, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. For a couple years now?
Yeah, this is my second year at the faculty. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Wow, awesome. They're lucky. So, yeah, that's so cool. So let's talk about what are you working on now? What's been going on?
Yeah, I just put up a song on SoundCloud this week called Bright Asters, so that's something that people can check out. I put out an album in the summer called Unconfined Invisible, That's something that was in the works for a couple of years with David Hermiston and I producing, and so it's a set of songs. Some songs are just me, and others feature some great guests: Michael Herring, Matt Newton, Jeff Luciani, Dan Fortin, Joseph Shabson. Um, I've got a new EP that I'm very slowly working on now. That's becoming a little more of a multimedia project, but slow is the operative word. We're doing it remotely, and yeah, it's challenging, kind of like, engineering your own stuff at home and also finding the time. It seems strange to say that when we have all the time in the world, but um, anyway. But I'm being patient about it, and it's fun, and I'm learning a lot about you know how to get better sounds at home, which I'm excited about. So
Yeah,
that's something else that I'm putting together.
absolutely. I know, right? That's so cool. And I just want to say Unconfined Invisible is like such a great album. It's so great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was listening to it again this morning and just like, oh, favorite track has to be Strain. That's such a
Okay, right on. Thank you.
oh, just so good. So good. And like the personnel is really great. The sounds are really great. Your singing, songwriting, so prolific, really. Like,
Oh, thanks so much,
yeah,
Sarah. Right on.
yeah. So check it out on Bandcamp. It's really,
Yeah.
really good. And you just actually, I think I just saw that you posted one of your previous albums on Bandcamp yesterday that wasn't there before, maybe? The Greatest
Yeah, the Greatest Invention. Yeah, my my last quintet record, and yeah, just getting in on the Bandcamp promotion, and my plan was to have new music for the next few Bandcamp Fridays, but as I said, things are coming together slowly. So I thought, it would be a nice opportunity to celebrate that record again, and just kind of maybe, maybe there's some people that are interested in checking it out that haven't heard it. So
Yeah, it's great. Like the difference with your Unconfined Invisible album and your previous albums with your quintet is it's so amazing to hear how much you've sort of branched off and built upon like all the things. Like it's just this sort of yeah, really big accumulation and yeah.
oh, thank you so much. Yeah, yeah, I don't really see things as being that different. Like it's all kind of one thing. I mean, the obvious thing is that I'm singing and that there are words as opposed to it being instrumental music. But other than that, like stylistically and things like that, it's all in my mind. It's all kind of one thing.
Yeah. Writing without a sense of genre. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 You do that really well too. I wanted to tell that story that we talked about. Um, uh, a few years after your first record came out, Illuminations, I was in the woods camping with some friends, and we were listening to like a local radio station, and they were playing a lot of folk and country stuff, and we were just like, it was just awesome night, just super relaxed in the middle of nowhere. And then, sort of towards the end of the night, I just hear this tune come on, um, and it was Neil Young's "Oh Lonesome Me," and I was like, oh, I love this song, and then the guitar player did something where unequivocally I was like, that's me. And I was like, of course that's me. That's Sarah singing. I was like, but it was cool because it was like, it was totally not the context I expected to hear your music. And I don't know, it was a testament to like how well you did a great job getting it out there. And that
Oh,
like, because this was several years later. This wasn't like the week it came out or something,
oh
So
wow, cool. Well, nice and thanks. And yeah, Harley, you like played so awesome on that album. That was one of our earliest, maybe not the earliest, but one of our earliest collaborations. So yeah,
that was
that's a
fun. And recording at Metalworks too, where when we were there, I was like, oh, this is where like Prince recorded a bunch of his stuff, and like Guns N' Roses and things like that. I was like, what? Like I had no idea. So that was, at the time, that was exciting
that
to
was really exciting.
record
That was
there.
a cool space. Yeah, for sure. The album sounded really good. Wow. Yeah, that's a cool story. So, what outside of these crazy COVID times, what groups do you perform with? Do you want to talk a little bit about some of your collaborations?
Yeah. before COVID, I was doing a lot of trio gigs around Toronto, and sometimes an instrumental trio, like horn player, guitar, and bass, and other times like we had a really fun trio happening with Mark Godfrey and Alex Samaras, and those guys were very graciously helping sing some of my songs. And so for Mark and I, was obviously like really amazing to get to sing with Alex like that. And so that was a really good vibe that was happening. So hopefully we can get back to that soon enough. And I guess like with Hobson's Choice in my group, it's kind of comes in spurts. And like if there's a record out or a big project, or we get asked to play on a bill or something, then we get together and do things. But everybody's so busy with other things. And I guess like the last big stretch of gigs I did with my quintet was when Greatest Invention came out and we got to tour around Canada. And since then we've done a few things, but it comes in spurts, you know?
Yeah, totally. Super cool. Nice. Yes, I'm a huge big fan of all your groups, especially Hobson's has a special vibe for me. Lots of good memories listening to you guys playing in the earlier years, and those albums stay with me quite a bit. Big inspirations, I have to say. So as well as of course your own like quintet work is as I was saying, I was listening to Greatest Invention again this morning and just being like, wow, so powerful. So
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So what first got you into music?
Like music was always in our home. Like my parents were just huge music fans, and so records and going to concerts with them, and my family always sang and played music. And my dad's Ludwig drum kit was always set up in the basement, so we could always go, and as long as we were respectful, we could go and play drums. And but I was more into drawing, and then I guess around middle school, a few of us started bands, and been in bands ever since. So music kind of took over in high school, and I didn't even take music in high school, but I took art and a bit of drama, but I was always playing in bands. So
nice. Wow. Well, we've talked a little bit about. You told me about your visual artistic side before. I was like blown away because I can't draw, so
neither can I anymore. I picked it up and started playing guitar, but I love going to galleries, and I'm always checking out something peripherally, and it's been always I've always tried to collaborate with artists who I really admire on the visual aspect of putting music out. So that's been a real treat too.
Yeah, can see that in a lot of your album artwork choices and designs. Like there's a really deep aesthetic thought out. Lots of really powerful imagery, and and the drama thing is also interesting. Makes me think of the video that you did, the collaboration with Ethan Ardelli.
Oh yeah. 555. Yeah, that was super fun putting that together with him, and then he asked me to be in it, and I don't know if I'll do any more acting or anything, but it was fun. Yeah, for sure. I mean it's amazing what he did with that video. It's really cool, and that album is tremendous. So I'm a big fan of that record for sure.
Yeah, very cool. So, who are some of your influences, would you say? And that doesn't need to necessarily just be music either. Like, I think you've got a lot of different art forms that influence.
Yeah, I guess, well, lately I've been checking out the movies of Spike Lee and Jim Jarmusch. A lot. For guitar, it's I guess Wes Montgomery, Pat Metheny, Bruce Coburn. in terms of like making records and definitely Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, my teachers for sure are a big influence in terms of like work ethic and how to like how to approach doing, you know, having a music career and what are some of the things you can do and for sure. And yeah, these days it's mostly like my friends and the music they're putting out, and that's a constant source of inspiration.
Yeah. Ditto, for sure. Wow, that's so cool. Who were your teachers at, you went to Mohawk and you went to U of T?
Yeah, so I mentioned playing in bands in high school, but I also studied with a great teacher in Ottawa named Dave Milliken at the time, and he was really great. At Mohawk, I studied with Joey Goldstein and also Jeff Young. I was in ensembles with Jeff, and that was pretty much like having another guitar lesson. So, um, and then at U of T, I studied with Roy Patterson and David Acapini. And then, yeah, I've had more lessons since then. Occasionally, like got to study with Peter Bernstein a bit, and in New York. Um, yeah, what was the question?
Who were your teachers? Yeah, you did a stint down in New York and to study. So that was Peter Bernstein. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was the project was to study with Peter, but I also had some lessons with a couple other people when I was there, and it was really great.
Yeah.
So, and just yeah, being in New York for a minute there was in general was really great and made me realize that I could be more involved in things here in Toronto that are all the things I like about New York. And um, I, I I didn't feel compelled to make the move there, but it was close.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, there's such a tremendous scene here in Southern Ontario and in Toronto. So it's as you know, it's great. There's
Yeah.
lots going on.
Absolutely. Sweet. That's super cool. I'm glad you stayed.
Yeah,
I
me too.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. What are your favorite venues as either a performer or as an audience member?
The Village Vanguard, Smalls, the NEC Studio in Ottawa, particularly during the Jazz Festival. That's a great venue. Kerner Hall, Massey Hall, uh, the Rex, the Transac, um, Yardbird Suite in Edmonton, the Jazz Room in Waterloo, uh, wherever they'll have me. Those are a few that come to mind for sure. That
Yeah.
pretty special.
Yeah, they are. All of them. There's so many of them. And like there's so many memories of great concerts that you've seen there and also that you've played there too. So it's like such a huge in many of those rooms and yeah, lots of good memories. We just hope everybody stays afloat, you know, all these venues right now. But yeah. So what have you been listening to throughout COVID, throughout the pandemic?
Yeah, lately I put together a little list because I don't know, it's been pretty all over the place, and there's I've listened to so much um, throughout the pandemic, but lately I've been listening to This Is the Kit. The group This Is the Kit has a new album called Off Off On. That's really great. For a while there, I was really enjoying getting to know the music of Tumani Jabate, the great kora player, and various collaborations he's done. And lately, some hip hop stuff. Quelle Chris and Chris Keys, they have a record called Innocent Country 2 that I've been enjoying. Um, Jeff Luciani introduced me to Serge Gainsbourg, the French singer, and Histoire de Melody Nelson. That album has been, been having fun checking that out. Nina Simone, um, Alan Holdsworth, that record, the 16 Men of Tane, rather.
Yeah, nice.
Dirty Projectors has a new set of 5 EPs called 5 EPs. That's really cool. Been checking that out. And then another thing that's been fun lately is just like dropping in on just like classic solos I love, like maybe not even listening to the whole record or the whole tune even, but like well, definitely the whole record. Hey Okay, Keith Jarrett on Hey Okay from Kenny Wheeler's New High, uh, Clifford Brown on Jordu, and like just compositionally like checking in on those masterpieces. A lot of Joe Henderson. Um, so yeah, pretty pretty all over the place, but it's been fun. It's been
Exactly.
fun to do some intense listening.
Sounds really intense. I'm gonna have to like write down all the things.
What about you? What have you been checking out?
I've been listening to a bunch of big band music. Actually, the songs "You Like a Lot" by John Hollenbeck, his latest release with Theo Bleckman and Kate McGarry. Oh my gosh, I've actually only been able to listen to it like 3 times, and every time I listen to it, I'm just like, okay,
I'll
it's a lot to
check
take
that out.
in. Yeah, that's been a big one. I've been listening to actually a lot of Theo Bleckman recently, and what else?
You had a lesson with him recently, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been studying privately with him. I've had 3 lessons so far since December, November. Yeah, he's such a great teacher. So amazing. So, yeah. Um, yeah. And I've been listening to Sarah Harmer's new album. What's it called? Are You Gone? Is that what it's called? Sorry, I should
I
know.
haven't heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, it's been like a bunch of things on Bandcamp too that I've been kind of diving into. It's like I can't remember it all, of course, right now, but yeah, it's been pretty heavy.
Also, I forgot to mention Amanda Tosof's new record, Earth Voices. I've been really enjoying that one as well.
Nice, cool. Yeah, I can't wait to listen to that too. It's very cool. So you have prepared a brand new song that you've been working on, and I believe it's sort of hot off the press. So I'm super excited to hear this. Do you want to talk a bit about it?
Yeah, it was a good opportunity to uh, finish a guitar piece that I started a while ago called September in Manitoba. So I'm gonna give that a try.
Thanks for watching Artistic Digs. Stay tuned for the next episode featuring Jeff Luciani.